is our dry age room. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we age all of our subprimals. They range in between 30 day to 45, sometimes up to 60, and sometimes we go even beyond that. But generally speaking, we find that the sweet spot's right in around the 45-day range. Over here we have short loins. We have our prime exports right here that have quite a bit of age on it. We have our Black Angus breed, which is from Double R Ranch in Washington, which is all of this that you see right here, and that's our primary meat for aging. We also do Holstein, which we do wet age. We feature A5 from Japan, which I have right here. Extremely marbled, and this is a wet age product. And we serve that by the ounce. Dry aged meat has a different characteristic than just a regular steak would for a couple of different reasons. The aging process helps tenderize the meat. The enzymes themselves will start to break down the protein, and as the protein breaks down, it's going to tenderize. So your cuts that tend to be a little bit more chewy, like say in New York, as time goes on, that muscle is going to relax, it's going to break down, and it's going to start to self-tenderize. Some people who don't do dry age cheat, and they needle their meat to tenderize it, or they pound it with mallets, but that doesn't do anything for flavor profile, that just affects tenderness. On the flip side of that, when you dry age your meat, it takes on a different characteristic. What happens during the process is the meat starts to dehydrate, and as the water extracts from the meat itself, it concentrates the flavor of the protein. So when you bite into a dry aged steak at about, say, anywhere from 30 to 45 days, you're going to taste that characteristic. It's actually going to, for lack of a better term, it's going to taste more meaty. It's going to take on a more profound flavor. The longer that aging process goes, the more that flavor intensifies. At a certain point, when you're rounding about 60 days, it's going to start becoming a little bit gamey. Some people find that to be a delicacy. It's a different experience. What we recommend is that you try various ages and various breeds when you come, so you can see the difference between the flavor profiles. You can have a wet aged steak, see what it's like in its natural form before anything has happened to it, before there's been any aging process. Texturally, it's going to be different. And then you could try various ages to see at what degree those flavor profiles really start to evolve. So this is our Himalayan sea salt. If you look at our wall up here, which is illuminated with light in the background, all of the Himalayan sea salt is going to merge together with time. The moisture is going to start to melt down the actual salt. The salt's going to form a wall, and the idea behind the salt is that it's going to permeate the room and, in essence, season the meat. Not to the point where you don't have to season it additionally, but add a certain, almost like a sea essence to it. And if you taste this, this is actually Himalayan sea salt. This is this ground up. So this could be used as a seasoning. And if you taste this, it has a very, people call it umami flavor profile, very earthy. And aged meat also has a very umami, earthy flavor profile, so it kind of blends together very well. After we break down those subprimals that you saw inside, and it's basically down to the meat now. And what happens also during this process is the meat, when we get it, because of that moisture content, it's going to be considerably larger. And as time goes on, the more the aging process happens, the more it starts to shrink down. As it shrinks down, it drops liquid, it drops moisture, but it also condenses that flavor profile. And if you smell, you can smell that, kind of like that reminiscence of that room still on there. And these are the Double R, which also have a considerable amount of marbling, also a prime product. And all of our bone-in product is prime that we serve here.